Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Now, just going into this World War III and these last days. Now, when you go into Revelation chapter 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time." Now this is talking about these kings of the earth, who predominantly are the so-called white men, the Edomites, that the Bible speaks of. And they know that their time is becoming short. So that's when it becomes, the Lord is starting to stir them up. When you go to Revelation 16, verse 3, it tells you about this dragon, these kings of the earth, and how they gonna get stirred up for this World War III and the end of their world, pretty much. So in Revelation 16:13, it says, "And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet." Verse 14, "For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them together to the battle of that great day of God Almighty." So this dragon, he is making the kings of the earth get to a point where they gonna go to war. He running his mouth with his false prophet and with his military. See, his religion, his military, they all gonna come up with all kind of ways to start this Third World War. Now, when you go into what is this, Revelation? When you go into let's see here. Let's go to Joel. No, let's hit Jeremiah. Jeremiah 49. It talks about who gonna start the situation off, because this is the finale of the whole kingdom. Jeremiah 49, starting at verse 20, it said, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he has taken against Edom." See, that's that dragon. "And his purposes, that he has purpose against the inhabitants of Teman." That's the dragon also. That's the son of both of the. Edom stands for the children of Esau, and Teman was the son of Esau. They are like a tribe of Esau. So it says, and if you go to Habakkuk, the whole book of Habakkuk talks about Teman. Now it says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." So one of the flock of Esau pretty much is like the nation of Israel. They have different bloodlines that's a part of the same bloodline. Like Benjamin, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Manasseh, Issachar. Those are the same bloodline, but they're different tribes of the same flock. So when it's saying here in Jeremiah 49:20, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." You see, they gonna get the party started. They gonna get the war started. They gonna be the ones that's gonna be stirring up this battle of Armageddon. Now let's go to let's see here, Joel. Let's get this Joel. Joel chapter 3. It says in verse 9, it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Jump down, no, right here in verse 10, jump down to 10, Joel 3. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So they telling them pretty much, focus on war, prepare for war, whatever, get your weapons right. See, he say, turn your equipment into swords. Whatever you use, turn it into swords, into weapons. You see, spears, swords, and spears. Get your weapons ready for this war. Let the weak say, I am strong. And so that's where, when you look at the world, you see all of the countries, all of the nations, they're preparing for war. They spending money on their military. They buying weapons. They rehearsing their war. You have Russia, Iran, and China doing a military drill. So they all getting ready for war. And now you got the so-called state of Israel. They going at it with the Palestinian or the Ishmael Elam side, the Persian side. They going at it with them. And so that's that least of the flock that's gonna start the whole situation off. But that's how the Most High is drawing them out. That's how he gonna draw them out with that conflict, because Israel is gonna make it where they gonna attack people that's gonna make everybody get involved. Because once Israel attacks somebody and they retaliate, now you got their allies got to jump in the game. So it's gonna be the least of the flock, because Israel is a small section. They gonna get the party started, and then everybody gonna join in because that's their allies. That's who they rolling with. So they gotta protect their teammate pretty much. So it says here in 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves round about. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 11. It say, there caused the mighty one to come down, O Lord. So they gonna rise up against America. See, everybody gonna rise up against America. And then in verse 12 it say, let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So after they make the mighty kingdom, or the mighty ones of the nation of the heathen come down, that's the Edomites, then he's going to judge all the rest of them. All of the heathen is going to get judged in the valley of Jehoshaphat. And that's what he's talking about, the battle of Armageddon. And so when you go back to Revelation what 19 is a major war chapter. 19 and 11 it say, then I saw heaven open up, I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse. Now that's when let's get at Jeremiah again, because this white horse is talked about in Jeremiah 49. But listen how he described this white horse in Jeremiah. Okay, in verse 22, Jeremiah 49:22, it say, behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty man of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. So this is what, when he said in Revelation 19:11, he said, and I saw the heaven open, and behold a white horse. and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. So that's that white horse. When he say he shall spread his wings over Basra, so he gonna have that white horse gonna be flying. This is gonna be something that he's flying in. And see, when he's talking about a white horse, he's talking about a chariot. Now when you go to what is it, 19, and let's get to the climax. 19 and 19. He said, I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. See, that's these militaries, the American Air Force, Marine, Navy. See, they got ships, they got tanks, they got planes, and their allies. They gonna be trying to make all of the nations. They gonna try to attack Yahushua, and so that's when he's gonna destroy their behind, because it tells you where is it? Let's see here. Oh, let's go back to 17. It says in 17:14, it said, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And so that's when he's going to destroy these people. Now let's get Habakkuk to get some more details on what Yahushua is going to do to these people. Because Isaiah 63 lets you know what he's going to do, because he say his garment's going to be dipped in blood. His garment's going to be dipped in blood, meaning he's going to be killing a lot of these people from Edom, especially the Edomites, because they the main warriors. They the ones that's flying the jets and navigating the boats and navigating the tanks. See, they maneuvering the weaponry. Now let me get Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 16, because Habakkuk, he saw what was going down in the last, and when the war popped off. But let me get 8 first. Let me get Habakkuk 3 and 8. He said, was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was your anger against the rivers? Was your wrath against the sea, that thou did rideth upon your horse and your chariots of salvation? You see, that's what he gonna be riding on. That white horse is gonna be a chariot of salvation, and he gonna be destroying stuff so much where he had to ask him, is you angry at the rivers? You see, you angry at the sea? And so in 16 he say, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. So Yahushua is going to invade these people with his troops in his chariots of salvation, and he's going to subdue his enemy. Now let's get that in Isaiah. It gives you the climax. 66:15 is in Isaiah 66:15. It say, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. and the slain of the Lord shall be many. You see? So he's going to be doing some damage to these people. I'm at 15. Let me go ahead and get 63. 63. Get some more details. I'm just yeah. That's what I was doing on 63. 63 verse 1. It say, "Is this that come from Edom with dyed Bajra from garments from Bajra? That this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in his greatness." So that let you know right there, it's saying traveling in his greatness, because he gonna be moving in them chariots. It said, "I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." Verse 2, "Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat." And so what verse 3 it say, "Their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments." So this is going Yahweh Shai going to do to these people. Now we got some more details in Revelations chapter 5 verse 5. It say, "And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof." Okay, so when you go to what is Jeremiah 4:7, it say, "The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant." You see, so this is talking about also the second coming. And it's saying that when he come, he's coming to handle business. Now King David, his forefather, gave some details on what's going to happen when he returned. Now let's get that in 49. It says, this 49, Psalms 49, Psalms 149, Salakia. Psalms 149 verse 7, it say, "To execute vengeance upon the heathen." See, that's the destroyer of the Gentile. "And punishments upon the people." Verse 8, "To bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron." Verse 9, "To execute upon them the judgment written. Dishonor have all his saints." Now, the judgment was always written from way in Numbers. Let's get Numbers 23, because it talks about the last days. With 24:14, it say, "And now behold, I go up unto my people. Come therefore, I will advise you what this people shall do to your people in the last days." Okay, getting straight to the point. It says in 17, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab," that's the Chinese, "and destroy all the children of Sheth." Verse 18, it say, and Edom shall be a possession. Seir, that's also Edom, also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. So that's pretty much saying Yahweh Shai, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, he's going to come and put in chains these people of the nation of Edom, the so-called white man. Seir, that's another name for them. And this is, I think, Zechariah. No, Amos. Amos said the same thing. Let's get Amos. Amos said almost the same exact thing. Amos chapter 9. Chapter 9, verse 12. It say, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, says the Lord that doeth this. So he's letting it be known he's going to put in submission, or they're going to be put under the Israelites. And the king of the Israelites, Yahushua, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now he say, Edom shall come in possession. Now Isaiah, it really give you an easy way to understand who Edom is and who Israel is. Let's go to Isaiah 14. I ended on that. Isaiah 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. So the Israelites going back to their homeland. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So, Salakia. So the Israelites is going to take captives, whose captives they were. So they was captured by some people, and they going to go and capture them. They was being ruled over by some oppressing people, but they going to rule over their oppressors. So that's simple. It's only one people that's being ruled over by their oppressors. That's the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who was taken on slave ships. According to Deuteronomy 28:68, they was taken on slave ships and to a land where there's some people over them, oppressing them. You see? And so that's going to be the grand finale, is what World War III pretty much is all going to be about. The Israelites ruling over their oppressors and taking captive their oppressors at the end of World War III. That's what my sign is talking about. Let me get a close up. Now you got but that would be Iran and all of these allies of Russia going against America. So they're going to blow America up with a nuclear missile. America is going to be totally destroyed. And then you got the other armies, they going to be destroyed when Israel gets spiritual power. They're going to put all of their armies in chains. Now let me re-quote that since I went to breaking that down. Revelation 19:19, it says, and I saw the beast, this is the beast, the militaries of the world, and of Esau Edom, and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war. See, they making war against him that sat on the horse, that's Yahushua, and against his army. His army is going to be the elect of the nation of Israel, the 144,000 that's going to get spiritual power, and that's going to be his army also. So his angels is going to be his army. But see, the elect of Israel, they're gonna get spiritual power and they're gonna fight also. I guess I got time to add that in. Let's get that in Ezekiel and Zechariah. Let's get Zechariah first. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. It says, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. So that's how he's gonna give Yahushua an addition to his army, because they gonna rule with Yahushua. Now, and this lets you know that those Israelites that get power, they gonna get involved in the war, because Ezekiel 25:14 it say, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, says the Lord Yahweh, our power. Now, so they gonna know that the Israelites are God's people, because they gonna get spiritual power and fight them with Yahushua. So that's how World War III going down, and the finale gonna be them putting these nations in chains and making them be their slaves, like, or captives, like we was captives to them. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.